and welcome to Character Unlock. I am John. I can't remember what fucking episode we're on, but we've just come back from EGX. Myself here with Brooker.
Hello, mate.
And our eternal friend Lee.
Cooey!
Yeah, we essentially just spent an entire weekend, almost, well, Thursday through to Saturday, fucking around in East London at the XL, playing a couple of games and doing mostly stupid shit, and these guys went running.
Yeah.
Did you guys enjoy yourself?
It was a good run. Someone was smoking some strong weed on day 2, man.
Yeah, that was... And it lingered for fucking all the way under the bridge as well. It was ridiculous.
There was no one around, and yet their weed was still there.
Oh, you see, when we got to the steps at the other end, right at the top of the path, there was 2 guys. So I just presume it was those. But we're talking like 100 yards plus of lingering smoke, and it was thick and acrid as well.
Nice.
Mental, yeah. But other than that, yeah.
Went running.
Yeah, it was super fun after that run.
So, yes, we disappeared off, and we had a lot of fun, and these guys did some things that I didn't do, mostly Doom. And they also got to meet Simon Miller, which I'm forever jealous of, but I just didn't have the energy to continue on for the night.
You did miss a good one.
Yeah. So I'll always be jealous of that. What else happened? Various things. We stayed in an Airbnb that was surprisingly all right with the pool table.
Yeah, I mean, it was okay. It was a little rough around the edges, because obviously the oven just didn't do anything. Just sort of...
Well, it lit up and the fan worked, but no heat. So we just donated a couple of pizzas to the man that owns the house because we bought frozen pizzas not realising the oven wouldn't work.
There was something else in the freezer as well that I'm guessing we...
Yeah, there's a bag of wedges, I'm guessing, from the last person that was in there and bought wedges and went...
used that as an idea as to why the oven wasn't working, because someone left... Who leaves wedges behind?
I don't know. Who leaves pizza behind?
Exactly. Someone who knows that the oven isn't working.
There you go. The next person that stays in there is going to go, fuck me, pizza and wedges, woohoo! And then nothing.
Obviously, the pool cues were made for people that were considerably shorter than me.
Yes.
To be fair, they were made for people shorter than I am. And no. I'm not tall.
Well, you see, you'd have been all right if you'd have got 2 normal-sized arms.
It's true. One arm is shorter than the other one, apparently.
You'd have been fine. If you'd had normal arms, like the normal, like the Da Vinci body picture thingamajig, you'd have been fine. But the fact that you've got 1 6-foot arm and one, 2.5-foot arm, it's just a bit weird.
So how do you guys want to do this? Talk about EGX. Do we want to go over what we did, what we enjoyed, and what we hated? Does that seem like good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can go with what we did Friday, and then Saturday, or Thursday, and then Friday, and then Saturday,
and then finally what we did on Sunday, which was nothing.
It was go home.
Yep. Right. So, guys, Thursday. What was your favourite part of Thursday?
Doom.
It's predictable.
I can tell you in song form if you'd prefer.
No.
It was, to be fair, it was the biggest game and the longest wait that we did on Thursday. We knew we wanted to play Doom first. We were both super excited for Doom, and it was absolutely worth the wait.
Yeah,
it was great.
Thursday was the only day where the queue wasn't absolutely unbelievable.
Well, no, it wasn't too bad Friday, but yeah, I mean, Thursday was the best day to get on it, really. I mean, we queued for, what, hour and 15 minutes, probably?
Yeah, it weren't too bad.
All I know is that while you were in the queue, I managed to do a penalty shootout at FIFA and also disappear off and play some other games in the time it took for you to finish Doom.
Yeah. You went to play games that no one else wanted to play.
Based on the title and the fact that you guys ended up playing those games afterwards, I disagree.
Well, you see, the queue for Boundary was almost non-existent most of the time.
And it was amazing, which is really stupid.
I wouldn't say it was amazing. Okay, yeah, it was good. It was surprisingly good. if for those people that don't know what Boundary is, I thought it felt like a COD game in a 4D space setting.
I tell you what it felt like to me. It felt like not a free-to-play, pay-to-win version of Dust 514.
I will take your word for that.
Do you not remember Dust 514?
I
No.
not.
The first-person shooter that was set in the Eve universe on PS3.
Okay.
It made me sad that nothing ever came of that game because it was a lot of fun. But it had those kind of vibes to it, and Boundary was all right, man. I didn't expect it to be any good. It was okay.
I was expecting it to be probably one of the worst games there, and it ended up being one of my favourites because it was a really good, stable shooter.
Fair enough.
So it was quite fun to play that. And then I also played Predator Hunting Grounds, but as the Predator, the game crashed on me midway through. I'd killed 2 of them, and then the game broke as I was healing myself.
Okay, so it might be worth kind of because a couple of these games, I didn't know that Boundary was a thing, and
No.
I didn't know that Predator Hunting Grounds was a thing either until like 2 days before EGX. So it's probably worth explaining that Predator Hunting Grounds is an asymmetric multiplayer game. So it's 4v1, 4 Marines versus 1 Predator, or 4 mercenaries versus 1 Predator, with extra objectives as well. If you're the mercenaries, so you have to go and, I don't know, what was it? Get into a rebel camp and hack a computer and steal an armory, and so you have to do that while killing rebels and avoiding the Predator who is hunting the 4 people.
Your mission is essentially the first Predator film, where you are going in, doing a mission, and then exfil on no plan whatsoever involving the fact that there's a Predator there, because they didn't know what the fuck the Predator was, or that the Predator even existed. That's kind of how this game works.
Yeah, it's basically Evolve with the Predator. It was alright, because we played it Saturday?
No, Friday, I think.
Was it Friday we played it?
Yes,
it must have been.
Right, it was Friday, yeah.
Yeah. So we played it Friday, and it was alright. I didn't hate it. I think I remember saying when we were playing, it needs to have an audience, a big audience on day one. Or, I think you said, Lee, you and 4 of your mates need to be able to play it all at the same time. So
yeah.
I think it's going to struggle to find an audience because it's got Evolve vibes.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Although it depends how long they can keep the player base up for.
Yeah, depends on what they're charging for it. If you're going to charge me 50 quid for it, I won't go.
Yeah, I'm not buying it.
But if you stick it up as a, I don't know, 25 quid game, I'd probably pick it up. Especially if I can pick it up cheap digital, so I can always leave it installed and then just go and play when everyone's online. I'd consider it.
So Evolve was missing one thing, and that was a player base, because it didn't have any kind of license or anything that people would be really, truly interested in. Unlike Dead by Daylight, or the Friday the 13th game, which have actual licenses to things that people care about.
Yeah.
So people really like the whole, there's a horror badass, we need to try and escape or kill it or something similar. With the Predator game, it's got that exact same vibe of you need to go do this mission, plus there's loads of other enemies around for you to kill and avoid, along with the Predator needs to do that. But so it could work out really well. When do we know when it's coming out?
Not a clue.
Not off the top of my head.
Probably some point next year.
To be fair, I did really like it. I thought it was great. I think it's a long way from what they need it to be.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got a lot more polish to put on it. I mean, like you said, it glitched on you when you were Predator. It glitched on me a couple of times when I was Predator. Obviously, that's why I lost.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, but like you'd sort of half clip into trees and stuff like that, and it was kind of annoying. And then like the camera would switch into a funny place, and you can't see anything. And
Oh yeah, I got lost so many times running around the trees because you'd be running around and then the game would just jump you to another branch that would then put you back on the first branch you were on, and you just ended up looping repeatedly.
yeah, yep. I know it's out next year, but I think it's only got an initial release date.
It's got a placeholder. Everything I found so far is a placeholder of 31st of December 2020.
Yeah. Which means it's next year, but that's it. It didn't feel too far away from sort of alpha though, so maybe
I'd say about 6 months at most.
Yeah, I'd probably say, oh well, it's not going to be summer, is? Well, no, actually, that puts it kind of sort of mid-spring, so that should be okay.
It needs to come out in a bit of a lull where there isn't anything else coming out, which at the moment there aren't that many.
Well, most of the big ones are coming out in winter, aren't they? Sort of pre-March up to March, and then there's practically fuck all after that.
Yeah,
we'll find out more in the coming months about games coming in April onwards.
Good one.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So other than Predator that I played on the Thursday, what else was there? Stepped onto the Switch bit because the Switch was fun. These guys did a bit of whatever the fuck Wii Fit is these days.
Yeah, so I went on to the Switch bit because they were offering a potential free prize if you filled in this place card. One where you had to wait until 5:30 to get it called out, and second is if you did a social media post with the card. I didn't realise until Saturday that was actually a daily competition. So I'm disappointed that I didn't do it on Thursday and Friday because we were actually there until 5:30.
Yeah.
And there was less people about, so it would have increased the chances of winning. Obviously, I left it until Saturday to finish.
And I completed the card for you anyway.
And yeah, well, you did Pokemon, didn't you?
And the Fit game, and I also did Link's Awakening.
But I already played those, so that doesn't technically count.
I think the only one I didn't do was Luigi's Mansion.
Which is the one that I did as well. Yeah. So, I mean...
you needed to get 4 stamps out of 5.
Yeah. But, yeah, so, I mean, I handed that in Saturday anyway. But out of those games, I mean, Link's Awakening is great. I think I spoke about it on the last podcast. I've actually finished it now, fully done and dusted. There's just a shame that there's no replayability on it. Once you've finished it, it's finished, which is a bit of a shame. But I wouldn't say to anybody go out and buy it because it's really pricey for what it is. I think
for a 20-year-old game.
Yeah, well, it's 20-year-old premise and story. But I mean, if it was sort of 25 quid, I'd say yeah, go get it.
But it's not.
But while it's rocking between 40 and 50 quid, it's not worth that much money. It's just not. It really isn't. Super Mario Maker surprised me. I'm actually considering buying that if I can find the time to play it, I guess.
It's also pretty pricey for what it is.
Yeah, I know, yeah. But it does have a campaign. So, I mean, I'd play the campaign. I just don't think I'd get a lot of use out of the sort of online people making their own maps thing. I like the idea of it, the same as I did with Little Big Planet and, you know, all the other ones where you can make your own tracks or levels and things like that. But I never end up playing any of them. So, I mean...
Oh, you just end up downloading all of them and then never do them because some people make some absolutely fucking bastard hard levels.
Yeah, that's might be the catch for me to just decide not to buy it. Yeah, that Ring Fit, really enjoyed it.
So much so you bought one.
And I bought one.
I really enjoyed Ring Fit. It was, you know, the 3 mini games they chucked you on.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed.
It caught me as a surprise because I thought it was just another gimmick, like a ridiculous gimmick, and it probably will end up to be sort of kind of that way. But I like what they've done. I like the peripheral that you get with it. It's not overpriced. You're getting a game and a peripheral for 65 quid, which isn't ridiculous considering Switch prices as standard.
So tell me what Ring Fit is, mate.
So it is,
because we're talking about all these games that some people might not have heard of.
Okay, so Ring Fit is a circle of plastic with 2 handle grips on either side, and you clip your Joy-Con in, and one of the other Joy-Cons straps to your leg, and essentially just works like a Wii Fit game, except there's a little bit more to it because the ring, it's able to give you tension back on your arms, whereas obviously the Wii wasn't able to do that. So it increases the potential for exercise. And so, I only played it for sort of 20 minutes last night, but the campaign is kind of like a run and you have to beat bosses, but you obviously beat bosses by doing exercises. You have to fire like a vacuum thing by pulling the ring apart, which is obviously you have to work against the tension for that. And then you fire wind blasts by squeezing it tight. And so it's quite good. It does incorporate quite a few different mechanics into it as well, which I like, because normally exercise games, they're kind of really sort of boxed in terms of you do sit-ups, you do press-ups, you do, the basic stuff. Yeah. This has got everything from your average, what you'd expect, to running on the spot, star jumps. It's even got yoga poses and things like that, which are notoriously difficult. I know obviously people often look at yoga as stretching, but it can be quite difficult because of the speed at which you're doing it. So all in all, it was quite good. I've not played any of the mini games apart from the same as you when we were actually on the shop floor of EGX.
So for the stuff you've done on the campaign mode thing, have you still got the half a remote strapped to your leg?
Yep.
It's awesome.
Yep.
Because I forgot it was there and I ran off of it.
Yep.
Yes,
and then I seen her running across the Nintendo floor. I think she was looking for you. Clearly, I didn't realise she was looking for you, but obviously when you said you'd still got it strapped to your leg, I clearly thought, oh, she was looking for you then.
Bless her.
So that was quite funny.
Yeah. You almost got a girl fired.
No, I didn't. Don't make me feel like a bigger cunt than I already am.
Just running off.
She seemed really
stealing.
quiet and not quite in the right place as well, which I thought was even funnier when you nabbed it off her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny just me talking to her. She's a tiny little woman who really seemed quite shy and just didn't want to talk to me at all.
Yeah.
That
was funny.
Yeah, you are a big man compared to her.
You're funny looking.
I am. I'm quite proud of it.
Yeah. So yeah, I like Ring Fit. So obviously I bought it. I will check back in with you next time we speak.
I did say that I was so glad I left my fucking credit card at home, because I definitely would have bought another Switch and a Ring Fit after that.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. The longevity of these exercise games sometimes doesn't last very long. I've got the feeling this one might last a little bit longer. I'm hoping that they update it with additional styles and games. They claim there's over 400 different exercises. So, in theory, I've done about 6 so far.
Nice, only 394 to go.
Exactly, but you unlock them by doing other ones. So I can't do them all yet. We'll have to wait and see. But I will keep chipping away at it. It does have the ability to set alarms and things like that, but I didn't bother with any of that crap. I don't want it to tell me when I need to exercise.
No.
I'll do it when I've got time. But you can set up sort of exercise plans and things like that within it as well. So it seemed pretty good. It's pretty simple to use.
Cool.
As it's a Nintendo game, obviously. It's made for slightly younger generation mostly.
Yeah.
So while Lee was working on the Ring Fit originally at EGX, me and Brooker ended up playing Mario and Sonic at the Olympics.
Yeah, we did.
You barely even remember doing it, do we? It was just another Mario and Sonic game.
I played archery, which is no different to when I played archery with a Wii, It was no different to when I played archery with the Move when that first came out. It was just archery.
Yeah, I mean it's what the two Switch Joy-Cons as you hold them like a bow and pull the trigger, pull one back rather, and then press a button to launch it at a target. It was exactly what you'd expect it to be.
Yeah, it was alright. That's literally all we played of Sonic and Mario at the Olympics, though, wasn't it? There wasn't, we didn't get to go on loads of different things. That was basically it.
Yeah, it was pretty much just you get to play one game and then they kick you off it.
Yeah.
Oh, was that it? You only got to play archery, and that was.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I thought you'd at least get a couple of games.
Yeah, there was only 3 games that were on it. It was archery, skateboarding, and something else. Don't even know. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, it wasn't. It's just going to be another Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. It's going to be a great-ish party game, but outside of that, it's not really worth picking up, especially for the price it'll be. What else was good for Thursday?
I played plenty of indie Switch games from the Res section, but I think I'm just going to talk about all of them all in one go.
Yeah, we spent like 2.5 days just randomly floating in and out of the Res section, didn't we?
Yeah, that was totally my favourite section.
Oh yeah.
I think mostly because you can just sort of drop in and get on a game relatively quickly.
And you can talk to the people that made it.
Yeah,
which
and
I
that
really
too.
like. I really like talking to developers about their games, and you can't. There was everybody at the Doom stand. They were just marketers there just to direct you to seats. No one there was involved in the creation of the game.
And there was a guy walking around with an inflatable gun.
Yeah, well, there was a fucking Doom Marine walking around. It was awesome. Sorry, Doom Slayer. There was a Doom Slayer walking around.
Why is he not Doom Marine anymore?
I don't know. He's always
doesn't want to be associated with the US military.
I know. He's always been a few things, and he's been the Doom Marine and the Slayer and the Doom Slayer and
Doom guy.
Yeah, he was just Doom guy at one point. I suppose Slayer. Did you do any of the like the content and that, like the stories and shit in Doom 2016?
Possibly.
So when you're walking around in Doom and you're getting all the story kind of drip fed to you, which you can completely ignore, which is like the beauty of Doom 2016. You can completely ignore it if you want, but when you get all these bits of story that are told to you, like from the point of view of the demons that you're now slaying, he's not called the Marine; they just call him the Slayer.
Yeah, I do remember.
Yeah. I would guess that a demon wouldn't know what a Marine was, but they would know that someone that kills everybody would be a Slayer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can see that being a reason.
That's about as logical as I'm prepared to go with Doom, because it's fucking awesome and defies all logic.
Yeah.
Doom Slayer does a bit of Doom slaying.
It was an odd demo, though, wasn't it? I mean, I expected to sort of play, here you've got X amount of time, because obviously most people had. It was timed, wasn't it? It was clearly timed.
Yeah.
Because there was a big siren and said the Doomslayer has entered the so and so and the arena. Sorry, yeah, that's it.
Facility.
And then facility. Yeah, that's it. And then I expect fuck you. And then I expect. So I expected to sort of you get at the start or whatever, you get bumped into an arena section and then you get X amount of time to just smash away. Yeah. But it was an initial training section for noobs who've never played basically an FPS before.
Yeah.
Because there was nothing new there, was there?
No.
And then you started an initial section which was sort of half story section and a bit wet.
Yeah.
And then you sort of skip forward into a bit of a heavier section with a bit more of the exploration, and then you got skipped forward again into a fucking shitstorm, basically. The shitstorm was a fucking absolute blast, but I'd literally been in there about a minute before I got booted.
Yeah, I was in there. I was only in it a couple of minutes, and I got my ass handed to me over and over and over. It was just pure death.
Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
It was just walk into arena, just death. It was absolutely brutal. I can't fucking wait to play it with my nice fully upgraded Slayer when Eternal comes out.
Yeah.
And shout out to the little clip the little in-game cutscene as you go to fire a cannon, kick the projectile out the cannon and load yourself into it and go flying across space. It was amazing. Yeah. Fire yourself out of a cannon and through a wall. It was fucking brilliant.
Sounds amazing.
Mate, it was, you know what, every time I heard the siren from the Doom stage all weekend, I just wanted to climb back in and start playing again. It was so much fun.
Agreed. I was looking forward to it, but now I'm like super pumped.
Yeah.
Super pumped to play it. I think it's going to be a day one for me, whereas Doom initially wasn't ever a day one. Especially like 2016 was probably like a year and a half before I played it.
Yeah.
But so pumped for this one. Day one for me, I think.
Yeah, my pre-order's in. I've played it now. I'm ready to go. So my ridiculous £200 collector's edition pre-order is in.
Shh, keep it quiet.
Well, I haven't told the wife yet. She's not in the building currently. She's at the cinema watching Zombieland. But she does listen back to the podcast on occasion. So sometime in the next
surprise.
Yeah, sometime in the next couple of months, I can expect a shoe thrown at me as she's randomly listening to this episode. Yeah. So I've pre-ordered. I said from day one I wanted to pre-order the collector's edition. It comes with an awesome steelbook, all the DLC, and it comes with a wearable Doomslayer helmet, which I will absolutely be wearing the entire time I play Doom Eternal.
Assuming that you're allowed to actually have it on your head and not up your ass.
Well, either way, I'll be wearing it.
Okay, with Thursday in the bag, Friday, what was the gist of Friday for you guys?
Okay, so Brooker and I, well, more I actually on this one, decided that I thought I really wanted to play Final Fantasy. Well, and I knew I wanted to play it all weekend, and I knew before I came that I wanted to play it. And, you know, obviously seeing the queues on Thursday, we decided that if you want to get on a big game, you've got to fucking get in there with your early pass. You've got to get there as soon as you can, which was actually a brilliant idea for Friday, and I wish we'd had it on Thursday. So, yeah, we both ran, or Brooker followed me to the Final Fantasy stand.
You make it sound like I'm one of those little fish that hang around the arse of a shark.
Well, you're sort of running alongside me then. And so, but by the time we got there, bearing in mind that we were literally sort of probably, one return's worth of queue.
Yeah.
The entrance. It was an hour and a bit already by the time we got in. It literally took us like 3 or 4 minutes once the door were open. We were there. Yeah. And it was an hour.
Yeah, because we kind of filtered our way through the queue quite a bit before the doors opened.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
We were quite near the front when the little curtain thing came down and we were allowed in. Yeah, easily no more than 5 minutes between the curtain coming down and us in the queue, and that was an hour's worth of queue, easily. But that's the thing I like about like EGX. Like there was a load of games there that I either wasn't interested in, like Final Fantasy, or had never heard of, like almost all of the res section. But you're like, well, I'm here. I might as well give it a bash. There's a limit. I don't care how many fucking screens it gets. I won't ever play FIFA.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, Final Fantasy's there, and it's a big game, and there's a lot of people playing it. Why wouldn't I have a bash? You know, I've got nowhere else to be. I've played Doom. That was literally the one and only game I had to play while I was there. Everything else was a bonus. So fuck it, jump in the Final Fantasy queue, man.
Yep.
So you enjoyed Final Fantasy then?
It was actually really good.
Oh yeah, man, I thought it was fantastic. I mean, I'm still skeptical about the action, the fighting style and how they're going to change the story and stuff. But you know, the demo that they let us have a go on was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and
until you got told off.
Yeah, well, I finished it. I mean, not a lot of people finished it, so that's good. I did actually manage to beat the boss before the time was up, which was the Guard Scorpion. So for those, it was actually called Scorpion Sentinel for some strange reason. But for those who are Final Fantasy VII fans, it was the Guard Scorpion boss. It did have a stage where he reacted with his tail up, similar to the first game.
So when we were standing in the queue watching this, you were going, he has a bit of with his tail. But he's not doing this thing with his tail. And then it done it to me, and I was like, oh fuck, is this what Lee was on about? Oh shit. And then it
kind of did, but it kind of didn't, because it didn't really react like in the original game. If you attack it while it's got its tail in the air, it counterattacks with a fucking super powerful attack, about wipes you out.
Yeah.
Whereas on this one, he fucking smashed you about a bit, didn't he? Knocked you to the other side of the bridge, and then went all fucking crazy shielded, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, he knocked my guy unconscious.
Oh, okay. He didn't do that to me. But then after that, you had to get behind him and take his shield out before you could start damaging him again.
Yeah.
Once you got him down quite low, there was individual sort of battle cutscenes in between as you got him down to certain, checkpoints on his health bar. Surprisingly long fight, though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how long we were playing for. Was it 15, 20 minutes?
Yeah, give or take.
Yeah, and I'd say 2/3 of that was fighting him.
Yeah, agreed. So I'll be interested to see if they play every boss in the game at that kind of time skip. We'll have to see, I suppose, because some of the bosses originally took a hell of a lot longer than the Guard Scorpion.
Yeah. I don't remember. I remember playing it when I was a kid, and I haven't played it since.
Well, there's only 2 or 3 bosses in Midgar anyway, so they're not going to have too many. Most of the better bosses are all out elsewhere. There was one boss on the original game, for those that played it, called the Demon Door. I'm looking forward to actually seeing that one, but I'm guessing I'm probably going to be about 6 years away at this point. Because that boss used to get, until I actually understood the game, that boss used to give me a fucking pounding every time I played it. It was so hard.
So you said just now as well, you weren't sure about the what do they call it, the action style for the combat?
Yeah, sort of. It's kind of halfway between action, similar to sort of Final Fantasy 15.
Yeah, and
kind of a little bit closer to Final Fantasy 13, sort of. So you've got action and it's movement constant, but you get to select your individual commands during.
Yeah.
Whereas it's hard to pin it down. It's not quite as fast paced as 15, which I'm glad of, because I didn't like 15.
Yeah. So I've not played any Final Fantasy for 2 generations minimum.
Yeah.
I've not touched a Final Fantasy game. But I quite liked the action combat thing. So I just kind of got stuck in and started whacking away with my sword or my gat gun or whatever I happened to have, and then just occasionally tapped up a menu to do a special
move,
which I thought was really I thought it flowed really well for a non-Final Fantasy player like me. I thought that sold me that game, because the thing that really put me off Final Fantasy most of the time is turn-based combat. I don't like turn-based combat games.
Yeah.
So to take that away and have me be able to go through the game with a combat that feels like it's flowing properly to me, that doesn't quite sell me the game. It puts the game on my rental list, and I will play it when it comes out. Which is something. If you'd have said to me 4 days ago, you're going to be ordering Final Fantasy, you're going to be playing Final Fantasy next year, I would have gone, fuck no, not a chance.
Yeah, so that's good. So they're probably, based on that, they should get some more people, and especially the younger generation who never got the opportunity to play the original when it actually felt and looked good. I mean, obviously going back to it now, it looks pants.
Yeah.
And that would put a lot of people off, despite story quality and such. But I'm super excited for that now. Really excited. I mean, I've already got the limited edition pre-ordered anyway.
Yeah.
Which limited edition? The 100 and
no,
plus?
not the 200 quid one. No, just the 80 quid one, which I still feel like I'm being fucking ripped off for. But
is that because it doesn't come with a wearable Doomslayer helmet?
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah. I think off the top of my head, it's a CD, an art book, a steel book. I don't mind as long as they've got an art book and a bit of DLC normally, and the Steelbook even, and that's normally enough for me to buy a limited edition, because that's really all I want anyway.
Yeah.
It is the art book mostly. So yeah, super chuffed with that. Felt great, played great. I'll be interested to see how, because they did say that there was a mode that was more closely related to the actual turn-based system. So I'll be interested how that plays in comparison to what we did.
Yeah.
The only thing that I couldn't figure out was, you're trying to select skills and they weren't available.
Yeah.
It just didn't tell you why it wasn't available.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a random cooldown that I couldn't see.
Yeah, there was no cooldown bar or anything like that, and I think they need that so that you know when you can go, because I kept going into the skills and they weren't available, coming back out.
Yeah, I did that.
That was a little bit annoying, but I presume they're going to fix that. They must, or I presume it's already in there and I just didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
Or they had a cooldown on them because they didn't want you to do the move.
Well, no, they did, but there was no way to know when it was finished cooling down. So you kept pause, like when you went to select your battle skills or your magic or your materia or anything like that, it sort of it slowed the time down as you were selecting them.
Oh, okay.
So obviously every time you went to slow it, you were slowing it down even though the skills weren't available. So it got kind of frustrating.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
There must be like an on-screen, here's a couple of squares or something.
That's what I thought, but there must be a visual tell somewhere, but I'm guessing it's just something as something probably like a little light at the end of his sword or something like, something that's just not particularly noticeable unless you know it's there.
Yeah.
I imagine it's there. Especially when your character's like dying and your other one's dead and you want to heal him and you're going in, why is my items not fucking available?
My favourite bit was when you did collect the Phoenix Downs before. I was like, maybe, but I don't know what they do.
Oh, yeah, good shout. So Phoenix Downs brings your character back to life.
Well, I know that now.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose as you've not, you're not a big fan of turn-based RPGs, you don't really know. I mean, the general items in Final Fantasy have always been identical.
Yeah.
And in fact, quite a lot of RPGs are very similar items.
Yeah. But if all of these games, if the last one I played was towards the end of the PS1, beginning of PS2 generation, there's no way I remember that. It's not a complaint against the game. I am sure it will explain it to me if I start the game actually from the beginning. I would hope so. I genuinely, that's my one big fear, is that I hope that it realises there are going to be people playing this game that might as well have never played a Final Fantasy game before, because if you expect me to just know fucking everything, that's going to ruin that game for me completely.
Oh, that's the only real one you need. The rest of them are pretty obvious. There's, Potion's pretty obvious name, and Ether is pretty obvious name. I mean, I thought Phoenix Down would have been an obvious name as well, considering what the Phoenix does in mythology.
To be honest, I didn't know. I know what the Phoenix is. I'm not a fucking spastic. I either didn't see it there or didn't collect it, or I just didn't realise that's what I needed to do. And to be honest, I was busy panicking that I had one guy down and I still needed to beat a boss.
Yeah, and you did a fucking stellar job, mate, for being one guy down for so long. To be fair, you nearly had him.
I was gutted when that guy told me to get off. I was genuinely pissed off. So I've nearly got him. I just need a couple more minutes. But he was so apologetic, because I was like, I'm sorry, mate. It is bullshit that we've got to kick you off, but we got to kick you off. Look, fair enough. Mm-hmm. And then you took a picture of the screen and got into trouble.
Yeah, totally got into trouble. I mean, what was he going to do? Take my phone off me?
No,
it was not.
So while Lee and Brooker were queued up at Final Fantasy, I ran straight in and over to the Pokemon stand, because that also had a pretty fucking huge queue. Luckily, it didn't take me the same hour and a half to get through. I was only maybe 7 deep in the queue.
Yeah.
It still took a good half an hour, because it was a 15-minute demo. Maximum time. It would just kick you out after 15 minutes, even if you hadn't finished it.
Yeah.
But it's one of the gym battles. But it's the full gym. It's the water type gym. I'm guessing water type just because there was loads of pipes pumping water out. And I don't know if gyms have typing. in this one or not, or if they're just fucking around with everyone.
Okay.
But you have to do the gym puzzle, which is pressing some buttons to change the flow of water through the pipes. There's 3 different color pipes: blue, yellow, and red. You press the button and it changes the flow of water from one to the other. And 3 battles before the gym leader that you go through, and they're all pretty easy. You've got a fully decked out team, varying different types, so you're pretty much settled squad wise. And then after that, you go into the gym battle, and the gym leader has 2 Pokemon.
Just 2?
Yep, a Goldeen and her super awesome one. I don't even know what the fuck it was. I changed because you can't change your Pokemon around. There's no pause option to change Pokemon, so you have to go into the battle and change your Pokemon in mid-battle. That's fine. So I swapped my original one, which was the Water-type starter, to the Grass-type starter. Hit it with, I think it's Razor Leaf is the only grass move that it has to start with. And then did the Dynamax, which is the turning the Pokemon into the 50-foot high monster thing. So I had for 3 turns, I believe, rather than the Mega Evolution being for as long as, however, that they've gotten rid of. So I Dynamaxed my grass type starter monkey thing. I don't know what it's called. Lee? Any ideas?
No idea, mate, of any of the new ones.
Cool. Not even going to try asking Brooker.
No, it's not completely pointless.
So I Dynamaxed up my grass starter for taking out the remaining half health of the Goldeen, killed it. And then the gym leader puts out her Pokemon and Dynamaxes it up. And I one-hit killed that as well with the Saiyan Grass move because it was super effective. And that quite surprised the guy standing next to me because apparently no one had managed to one-hit kill it before, to his understanding. So, I guess, apparently.
Was there any actual Pokemon fans there then?
I don't know. Seeing as I one-hit it in general, I'm guessing maybe. But I don't. I think the only reason I managed that is because the grass type move you do is max overgrown, which increases your special attack, I think. So basically made my Pokemon do more damage the next time you did it, which I'm guessing is why I managed to one-hit kill it.
Okay.
Made more sense to do it that way than to Dynamax before the giant Pokemon comes in front of me.
Well,
just to try it out.
What was Josh doing while you were doing this?
Josh was just sort of standing around watching.
Okay.
He wasn't interested in playing Pokemon.
Or Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Was he actually interested in playing anything?
I don't really know.
I can't remember if he actually, if I remember him saying he wanted to actually play anything.
Yeah, I don't think he actually wanted to play anything.
Did you just kind of force him to come along?
No, he always kind of wants to come.
Fair enough.
It's kind of weird. He always seems interested in going. It's just I don't think there's anything he particularly wants to play. But after that, and finding out you were then still in the queue for Final Fantasy, I went and got the rest of your stamps. I played Mario Maker and Link's Awakening. I can't say I particularly enjoyed either more than anything else. I'm adamant now that I'm dropping my Switch before the end of the month. So yeah, it's not really gonna. There's nothing picked me up enough playing the Switch or the Switch games to make me want to really keep the Switch. So
Wow.
it's.
See, I'm the complete opposite after EGX. I'm really annoyed that I've gotten rid of my Switch.
Just for Ring Fit.
No, for loads. Lee will definitely cover most of this, but pretty much everything we played in the Res section is available on the Switch, and most of what I played I really enjoyed.
Do you want my Switch?
I can't afford to buy the Switch from you, mate. Don't be silly. I've got 2 fucking holidays to plan next year. No, I can't afford the Switch.
and all of the Res games.
Yeah.
And then after playing Link's Awakening, and you'd finally finished your go around to Final Fantasy, didn't we move on to playing Call of Duty? Just because the queue didn't seem that big.
Yeah, it was pretty fast moving, wasn't it, the queue for Call of Duty?
Yeah.
We weren't in that queue for very long at all.
No, and we moved forward pretty quickly, but they had, I think, three live games at the same time,
Yeah, something like that.
and you only played one game of Domination.
Yeah, well, it depended on where you were. So we got to play Domination, and there was a team deathmatch game going as well.
Yeah.
So we ended up in the Domination game, which is so fucking weird to me. I still don't get Domination on Call of Duty.
Okay.
Well,
Why?
because I'm an objective player. So I run for objectives and try and capture objectives, but that's not how you play Call of Duty. You play Call of Duty by just killing everybody. I'm no good at that in Call of Duty.
I felt like it was like the Destiny one, where if you've got 2 flags, you get more points for kills. Is that right?
Yeah. So if you have no flags or 1 flag, you get, I think it was 10 points for a kill. If you have 2 flags, it's 20 points, and if you have all 3, it's 30 points for a kill.
Yeah. But I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not going to play that much multiplayer on Call of Duty, so I enjoyed it. It was fun. We had that one map that you've seen on every fucking advert for Call of Duty multiplayer. It was just generic desert map.
I thought it
But
needed to be more something. Just it didn't feel new. It felt old. It didn't feel crisp and clean, and there wasn't any shadows really, apart from when you went under. It just, I don't know, it felt a bit shit.
I don't know what they were playing on though.
Yeah, true. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the campaign looks great, but there's absolutely no way I will ever play that multiplayer. I just won't.
I'll be playing it for a little because I think I've been invited to play some with a mate of ours, and I'll be playing maybe at the weekend. We'll see. And I wouldn't mind playing some Spec Ops because co-op mission-based stuff. I quite like Spec Ops. I liked it back in the Modern Warfare 2 days, and I wouldn't mind carrying it on if I know anybody that's going to be online and playing it. But Call of Duty for me is always about the campaign, so campaign it is.
I thought Spec Ops was PS4 only.
No, Spec Ops Survival is PS4 only.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that means. I don't know what Spec Ops Survival is.
My guess is Horde mode.
Yeah. But the co-op missions, that's every platform gets that.
So I'll play Spec Ops with you when I'm available, but apparently I'm actually in Yorkshire this weekend.
Nice.
For the week. So yeah, I'm away from basically Saturday until the following Sunday.
I'm a fan of apparently I'm in Yorkshire, like you didn't know.
Well, I'm looking after my mum's dog while they're on holiday.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise it was this weekend.
Fair enough.
So as long as I'm there for Monday, they don't care.
Yeah.
But I don't really want to go up there and then hit my mum and stepdad disappear off like the same day or the following day, because that'll just really fucking annoy the dog.
No, that's fine. I'm buying the game. I
Yeah.
got the email from Game today to say it's been packed and ready and it will be posted Thursday. So I own the game, so just whenever. But
Yeah.
I have, on the strength of every trailer that I've seen, I've bought that game, and I won't let the average multiplayer experience we had at EGX put me off.
Yeah, so yeah, you'll end up playing the campaign, and it'll take you the best part of a month to do that, despite being an 8-hour campaign.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you're insulting.
Call of Duty fell flat for me, mostly because there was so many games of better quality and of better ideas or different ideas, like Boundary.
Yeah.
You know, it just felt like I was playing, a game that I think the last one I actually played was Black Ops 1. It felt exactly the same.
Yeah, see, Call of Duty fills a hole for me in as much as the same way the same way I love Oscar-winning films, but I can still sit and just switch my brain off and watch The Expendables and love it. That's the gap that Call of Duty fills for me. It's a short, usually 5 to 8 hour experience that I'll do in 2 or 3 sit-ins over and over again. You know, it's an exhilarating run, and then I'm done.
Yeah.
That's the appeal of Call of Duty for me. If I want multiplayer, or back in the day when I wanted multiplayer, that's what I owned Battlefield for. Because Battlefield was something different from multiplayer, and that was what I preferred. But each to their own.
So that's Friday. What else happened on Friday? A bit more res stuff, as we do.
Simon Miller.
Yeah, Brooker and I went to see the Doom.
Yeah, how to train like a Doom Marine.
How was it?
It was
How
fucking
was your
great.
Doom Slayer experience?
It was good fun.
So Simon Miller. I mean, for those that don't know, Simon Miller is a former video games journalist. So he used to work at Video Gamer, and then he kind of left and went freelance. But he also does. He's a semi-professional wrestler as well.
Yep.
Because that's his passion is professional wrestling. So he went from video game journalist to professional wrestler. But he also does a lot of stuff for games like Doom and Gears, games that he loves, and he has the kind of personality that can sell. Because what he is very in your face, seems a bit mean. But he's very confident in himself, and he's very funny, and he's very quick on his feet when it comes to improving in front of a crowd. So what Bethesda got him to do at EGX was basically advertise Doom by being him, and done it very, 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 very well. So the long and short of it was that he got two volunteers from the audience in the EGX
and you
theatre.
weren't them.
Neither me nor Lee were either of them, which was really sad.
Yeah, very sad.
It would have been fun.
Oh yes.
And these audience members were given 6 challenges, 3 physical challenges and 3 in-game challenges. So yeah, and they alternated. So they went physical challenge, Doom, and was it 50 push-ups?
Yep.
10 burpees.
Yeah.
And then the fastest person to blow up a giant Doom plasma gun.
Yeah.
And so the in-game challenges were as many kills as you can in a minute, as many melee kills as you can in a minute, and then just last as long as you can in that final arena that Lee and I had mentioned earlier. And overall, I would say it was pretty successful, like as a marketing thing, and from an audience perspective, it was really fun. I've never seen cheering like it, I have to admit. Not outside of, a sports thing or a music, a heavy metal concert or something. Like the cheering for there was 2 audience members, 1 guy, 1 girl, and the guy was, well, frankly pathetic.
To be fair to him, the gaming community as a general rule,
as a rule,
mean, obviously not as a it's not a steadfast rule because some of us are relatively fit.
But we're not the healthiest.
As a general rule, they're not the healthiest community. They're not used to doing press-ups. They're not used to doing any form of physical exercise, which includes walking down to the kitchen.
Yeah.
And this guy was clearly in that set. He was clearly sort of not particularly physically fit, and he struggled with the press-ups, which was super amusing. Yeah. He struggled even more with the burpees.
Which was great. It was like watching nursery kids doing burpees.
I've honestly no idea what he was doing there. It did tickle me quite a lot. And obviously, as I'm a super abusive guy, I didn't really keep my mouth shut very well either.
I don't think either of us did we?
No, but then he totally smashed air on that blowing up the thing. So maybe he's just got more puff than most people. I don't know. It's funny. Or she had a dud anyway. I reckon she had the most puff, if I'm absolutely honest.
Yeah. But she absolutely annihilated him on the in-game challenges. Like,
fucking pounced him.
Although, to be fair, I'm pretty sure both of them were trying to fucking hustle, because both of them, the first 2 rounds, looked like they were struggling. Like, she'd done clearly better, but she didn't look like she was doing it easily. And then come the final round, which was last as long as you can in this fucking arena of death. You know, both of them just... Well, he just ran around in circles for 5 minutes.
Well, to be fair, he met the criteria of what was given to him.
Yeah, just survived.
He did. He just survived, and so what he did was just exactly what you would do if you were told to survive. You just ran around in a circle, dodging everything.
Yeah, chainsawing the little. Chainsaw the little enemies so you can get health out of them.
And just shooting the things that got in his way as he was running round.
Yeah.
And obviously the big guy, the initial big enemy in that section was just chasing him. It was following him. So while he was running, it was just following him.
So it got to a point where it was getting a bit silly, and he was lasting a bit too long. And even Simon Middle was going, "Come on, just turn around and try and kill him. Just kill him." And he failed miserably. And then once it got to her turn, and she got into this arena, this woman did not fuck around one little bit, and it was just amazing to watch. As the first thing she did was turn around and run straight at the biggest fucking monster she could find and annihilated it. To some fucking loud ass cheers, man.
Yeah, she pulled out all the big guns as well and was fucking basically looked like a trailer.
Yeah, I desperately want to find out who she is so I can have her on my team when I'm playing multiplayer on that game.
Yeah,
because she was badass. Like. And I don't buy into this girls can't play games shit. She was fucking amazing, and it wasn't a surprise, but I didn't expect it to be that good or that much fun to watch.
Yeah, it was super fun. I'm glad I went. I mean, I didn't know Simon Miller before we went. I was pleasantly surprised. He seemed like a nice guy. So.
But he is as well, isn't he? He was a nice bloke.
He was amenable, wasn't he? He was quite. Yeah. He was just really down to earth. He weren't over his head.
No,
stuck up.
And he was really, like I say, on stage he was really funny, really fun to watch. And none of the jokes, nothing felt forced. Everything just felt really natural. It was really, really fun. Yeah, I'm. Because when you said you were going to go, John, I was like, oh, okay, we'll all go. And I was really glad I was convinced to not and stay for it, because it was a shitload of fun.
Yeah, I don't think I would have let you go. So I knew how much you wanted to do it, because I knew how much I wanted to do it. But after doing the VR stuff, I needed to get my contact lenses out. And I knew that if I'd gone back to the Airbnb, there was no way I was going to go back to the fucking... venue again afterwards. There's just no point.
It was good fun. It was basically the only things I wanted to do this weekend that were on my list of must-dos were the Doom thing. So play Doom and do the Doom Slayer thing with Miller. And I'd done them both, and I'm glad I did, because both of them were fucking awesome. Oh yeah, and we done VR.
We did VR prior to going off and doing the Doom Slayer stuff, and me going back to the Airbnb. We did some VR, and Lee, you did VR Iron Man, yes?
I did.
How was it?
Mate, do you know what? It was a fucking blast. Absolute blast. I mean, it was weird because I've not really played many VR games, so at some points it made me feel a bit queasy. And the other thing was that because obviously you've not got nothing strapped to your feet in the VR, you can't actually fly like Iron Man. So you fly with your hands down at your side and you move your palms around. So it's basically like when he's hovering,
Okay.
In the movies and stuff, you know what I mean. And so you go around and you've got a trigger on the back of the Move controller, and you've got the little thumb plate on the front. The trigger on the back is what you use to hover, which I thought was weird. Because I presumed that would be the plate. But the plate is the one that you use for shooting. So you raise your palm up and then you press the button and hold it as long as you want it, and you fire as repulsor blasts. So it was basically like a training simulator bit that they released you on. You have to shows you how to hover, and then it shows you how to shoot stuff. And then, closer to the end, it chucks out a load of sort of random bots that you have to shoot as you're flying around. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with that, mate. I thought it was great, super fun. I mean, it's not going to make me buy VR, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and I would like to play it again.
Sounds a lot better than the last Iron Man game that came out, the one that was attached to the first film.
Yeah, it wasn't awful, but I would really like to play this all the way through, story, campaign, the works. But I'm not forking out that sort of cash.
No, it's a lot of money for VR.
Yeah. And myself and Brooker played the Sniper Elite VR game.
Yeah, man.
And it was actually really good.
I really liked it. I forgot how much I enjoy Sniper Elite. But because of the kind of game it is, or the VR game. So the VR, at least the demo they throw you into, was like a rooftop battle. You have to kind of clear out a little a street from a rooftop, and it's basically it's like a sniper version of Virtua Cop, which is great fun, and I really enjoyed it. But the only negative thing I'm going to say about it is it's got a completely different atmosphere to every other Sniper Elite game I've played, in which I mean everyone can see you and everyone is shooting at you and you have to avoid them, which is kind of not the point of Sniper Elite. The whole point of Sniper Elite is no one's ever supposed to see you.
It did kind of feel like you were basically playing a horde mode.
Yeah.
Almost. It was like the opening mission to Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, where you're trying to defend the mansion.
Yeah.
And that's roughly what you were doing. That's the reason why everyone was coming for you, because you were defending yourself or defending a little town. And it kind of worked based on that. And you know what? It was actually really good fun to play. I set it to the Sniper Elite difficulty with all of the bells and whistles on. At one point, I did get a bit queasy, but that's because I decided to move the thumbstick on the controller while facing a different direction and ended up spinning twice as fast as I should be.
Yeah, see, VR still has that issue for me that moving sideways fucks me up.
Yeah.
It makes me nauseous. I didn't do it with Sniper Elite, actually. I didn't have that issue, but I could see that happening with Iron Man.
Oh, yeah, mate. That was when you were all over the place, because obviously you were balancing left and right and moving your palms left and right, and Iron Man would go where you go, and that's when you sort of doing quick adjustments. That's when it really sort of made me. It didn't make me feel sort of queasy. It's hard to say. Kind of like I was a little dizzy. Yeah, but I wasn't. It was bizarre, but it weren't enough for me to put the game down and go, fuck this, and then carry on. Yeah. I just went straight on through it, and it was fine. Once I got used to it, it was fine.
So when I was playing Sniper Elite, I had one of the devs in front of me in front of my booth, and when I completed it, it came with a message saying that you beat the developer's high score, and with like a 93% accuracy rate with 15 headshots, I think I got.
Nice.
And I think the only reason why I didn't get all headshots was because at one point I decided I wanted to shoot a man in the testicles.
Why not?
I ended up missing and shot him in the liver, I think.
Okay.
Just because of the angle I was firing from. So I was quite annoyed that I didn't get the cock shot, but yeah, getting an X-ray shot of putting a bullet through someone's liver is still quite fun.
Yeah.
So it was quite nice to chat to one of the developers after that, and just like going through and just saying that the game he's built is really, really well done, well designed, and it feels exactly like a Sniper Elite game should do on VR.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not going to go out and buy a PlayStation VR just to play Sniper Elite VR. That would be completely nonsensical. But if I still had a PlayStation and I had a VR, Sniper Elite VR would definitely be on my list of purchases.
Yeah.
So what happened when you sniped? Like on the game?
Yeah.
I can't remember now, because I literally only played that 2 minutes on the Switch, when we were just hanging about.
Yeah.
So what happens when you're in the VR?
So when you're in the VR, You walk around in first person mode, same as you do in the game.
Yeah.
Well, no, sorry, because in the main game it's third person, isn't it?
Yeah. So if you do a great shot,
yep.
Does it still?
You still get the bullet
X-ray
tracking camera.
Yeah.
So the X-ray.
Does it give you a chance to like move around?
Yeah.
As the X-rays happening?
No.
No.
Because I thought that'd be cool, like if the bullet was like sort of just about going into the head, and it went full X-ray, and then you can move around like in slow-mo and look around as it was going through. That'd be wicked.
So the way that it works is that you pull the move controller in the gun attachment up to your head, and to aim down the sight, and it gives you the scope based on where it is that you're holding it. And you do actually have to close one of your eyes in order to get a decent look down it.
Okay.
So that actually was pretty cool, because you pull it in front of your face and it doesn't really work, and then you close an eye as if you're actually looking down the scope, and then it works and you can see down the scope.
That's weird, but fun.
Yeah, so that worked, and then you pull the trigger obviously to get the X-ray stuff. But if you pull the gun away, it's not still in front of your face because you've moved the gun away. So there is some rudimentary control in the X-ray view. So I'm guessing if I was to step to the side, or most of the time in the move stuff, it was you had to use the thumbstick to move around anyway. It was just moving your head to look and moving the gun up and down for where you're pointing the gun.
Yeah.
As opposed to just being in full control of everything all the time, because the move isn't quite that powerful yet. Yeah. And the VR stuff.
Well, if they keep making VR games, and if they keep adding and making it look like it's just not another dead bit of kit, then I will pick one up.
Yeah.
But it most likely be on the PS5.
Yeah,
PS5 and VR2.
Yeah, we said this, I think, on Friday while we were just wandering around, because Sony have said that PS5 is going to support VR. I would guess that we'll see an updated VR headset for the PS5. I would hope so. And that will be where I purchase my PS5. I will buy that with the VR. Probably end up dropping around fucking 700 quid for it. But still, all these games then, I'll play them then. I'm in no rush. Sniper Elite VR doesn't even have a fucking release date yet.
I know it'll be cheap at some point in the future anyway.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to buy another VR at some point in the future too.
That's what I just said, dude.
Yeah, buy yourself a second-hand VR from eBay with brow sweat and everything.
Yeah, I don't want that. Some things have to be bought brand new, and something that's going to live on my face should probably be brand new.
So that's Friday, done and dusted. Saturday, we ended up queuing, and we were really fucking far back in the queue.
So we got in on Saturday, and I was watching my clock, and there was 8 minutes. 8 minutes between the doors opening and us getting into the queue for Avengers, and we were easily at the end of a 3-hour queue.
It was definitely 3 hours.
So
we didn't bother, did we?
No, we very quickly went.
We did not bother. But we bagged a T-shirt and a post, and I bagged a couple of posters on the first day, even though we didn't play the game, because I presume she thought we had played the game.
Yeah, I'm wearing my T-shirt right now.
Nice.
I've got my Dragon Ball T-shirt on for pre-ordering it. I have since cancelled the pre-order.
Yeah.
So we queued up, and then we realised that we didn't want to be in the queue anymore because we didn't want to waste 3 hours of our day, especially as it was our last day in a queue for Avengers. So we walked off and did something else. What was it?
Well, we were going to go play Doom because you hadn't played Doom, and I wanted you to play it.
And you guys went off to do something else, and I can't remember what it was. And I said I was going to go to Doom because there was no point in me following you.
Yeah. I think I went. Well, I went to get coffee because we ran in to try and get a decent spot in the queue for Avengers.
Yeah,
and that didn't work.
So I then went off to get coffee for us lot.
That's correct.
And then when we got to Doom again, it wasn't easy.
Yeah,
2.5 hour, 3 hour queue.
Well, I was walking to Doom to meet John while you were going to get the coffees.
Yeah.
And when I got to Doom, John and Josh were out of the queue, and
we were told not.
They were turned away. from the queue.
Yeah.
And this was first thing on Saturday morning. This is before the 11 o'clock wank stains came in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was pretty tough. So we went and played Boundary again because there was literally no one on it.
We had to play a couple of games in a row on that one.
Yeah, we had a few games, didn't we?
Yes, the queue for Doom was all the way around the box as per normal for what you queued up in originally. And then they had it go back and forth twice in front of on the end. And then there were people still trying to get into the queue and just like taking over a big chunk of space. And they were like, yeah, we can't have you standing in this area. This is where people need to be walking.
Yeah.
And they were just like, yeah, come back in like an hour or so. And the queue might have died down.
It was going to be any better.
No.
Well, it was Saturday, so we just kind of flitted around, didn't we, and picking up little bits.
Yeah.
Spent a bit of time in the res section.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Visited the Team 17 section. Some guys begged to get some worms.
I got 2 worms, man.
I got 1. Well, I lie. Nikita got 1.
Yeah, I lied too. Arthur got 2.
Yeah. But and she was really chuffed as well, because I said to her, I said, it's from a game, and what you do is you name your worms whatever you want to call them. And of course, I think I told you guys Saturday morning, or Saturday afternoon, so she'd had this conversation with Maya about the film Home, and how the main alien in it sounded like Sheldon from Big Bang Theory.
Okay.
So Sheldon was still on her mind. So I said, you can name it whatever you want, because it's worms, and you just name your worms what you want. She went, I'm going to call mine Sheldon. So we now have Sheldon the worm.
Sheldon the worm.
That's funny. Other than that, Saturday was a bit bare, wasn't it?
Yeah, so Saturday...
I did pick up a few more indie games, but...
Yeah, Saturday crapped out pretty quick. We had lunch and kind of decided that was probably time to call it a day. There was nothing we were desperate to get back into queue for, was there?
No.
There was... The queues were unreal.
Yeah, so the queues on a Saturday at EGX, for those who haven't been before, the queues on a Saturday are fucking mental. It's absolute bedlam. And that's been the case when it was at Earl's Court, when it was at the NEC, and now at Excel. It's just, Saturday's bedlam. Absolutely nuts. To the point where I wanted to talk to some of the guys in the res section, and they were just being swarmed with fucking Twitch affiliates and Mixer affiliates, or whatever they're called if you're a Mixer knobber, I don't know what you call them. So you genuinely, you couldn't get in to talk to anybody. Queues even for the res games were starting to get a bit silly. So yeah, we called it a day, and because there was nothing we were desperate to get back to, that was pretty much our experience done, wasn't it? So because you can go back on Sunday. Sunday's usually quite quiet. Because no one wants to be travelling to and from anywhere on a Sunday, let alone London and or Birmingham. But we decided we didn't want to, and that was our EGX experience over. We didn't bother going back Sunday, and finalised by Josh very physically removing the band from his wrist in a display of defiance, not shown since Rosa Parks.
In the only emotion he really showed the entirety of the weekend, the sheer anger from removing that band.
Yeah.
So, we've gone through our weekend. What is your number one game from the weekend?
Doom.
Doom and...
Doom, 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 doom. Doomity doom, doomity doom.
I'm going to go with Final Fantasy.
Cool.
I think there is a lot I liked, and I've still got loads to talk about. I'll do it briefly. But yeah, I think I'm going to go with Final Fantasy. Initially, I said Doom, but then when I think about it, I think it's Final Fantasy.
So did you get your EGX survey?
Yeah.
Did it ask you for your top 3 games?
I put Doom.
Yeah.
And then I put Final Fantasy. And then I wanted to put Darksiders Genesis.
But it wasn't on the list.
It wasn't on the list. For fuck knows what reason. They had every other game in some fucking completely random order as well.
Yeah, not alphabetical, not the order it was in the show, nothing. It was just completely random.
They're like, this survey will take 10 minutes. I literally spent 10 minutes searching for each game. cocksuckers.
So no Darksiders.
Yeah.
What did you put as your number? I'm guessing you put the same thing as me for your number. Well, what would be your number 3? But
I didn't put number 3 after that.
Did you not?
Tony
I
Slope.
just left it. No, I was disappointed that I couldn't
Oh.
select Darksiders. Oh, or did I put Valfaris?
That's what I put.
Yeah, I might have put Valfaris.
So Valfaris
actually.
was my number 2, with Final Fantasy in my number 3.
Oh, that's cool.
I genuinely, mate. I mean, I said this over and over again at the weekend. I didn't want to play. Well, no, I wanted to play Final Fantasy because it was there, but I had no expectations for it. I definitely wasn't expecting to enjoy it. I definitely wasn't expecting to really get into it to the point where I was pissed off that I had to put the controller down. You know, if you can change my mind like that in 15 minutes, you've done a pretty decent job, especially of a franchise and a game that I pretty much loathe.
Yeah.
So, I would, I played a ton of games I really enjoyed, but the big surprise for me was Final Fantasy.
Yep. Well, I've got loads. So, John, what about you?
So, I was going to say my game of the show was probably Predator Hunting Ground, but I think it was mostly because of the people I was playing with, as opposed to just. Well, it's just the general experience. It's like knowing roughly what it is that you're doing kind of helped.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm looking if we were to all get it and we were all to actually be able to play at the same time, I think it'd be quite fun to play in the future.
We need a couple more though.
Well, I've still got Evolve if you want to have a practice.
Yeah. But don't we? Isn't Evolve free?
Yep.
Pretty sure
I think
own
so.
Evolve. I'm pretty sure it's on my list.
I definitely own it, and if anyone wants it, I've downloaded it and I've got a disc, so I can always send you the disc.
Oh my god, you fucking bought it.
No, I didn't buy it. I bought a disc off a friend for like $5.
Yeah.
And then it went free.
I suppose that actually technically counts as buying it. And then it went free, and I got it from the Games with Gold. So
Yeah.
I've got 2 copies.
I'd rather play Dead by Daylight,
Yeah.
which is also on Game Pass.
Is it? Okay.
Yep.
Have you
As
got a
is
second and
Friday
third?
the 13th. Second and third, I would probably have to say Boundary
Okay.
as a second.
Yeah.
And as a third, I will probably go with. I can't think what else I played. Tony Slopes.
Funny.
Tony Slopes was fucking great.
I didn't disappointed I didn't play it now. You guys reckon it was really funny.
Yeah,
you know
it
what?
was stupid fun for no reason.
It has no staying power. Like, I will play that game for about an hour and then never play it again. But for that hour, it's going to be so fucking good. It's basically going to be Untitled Goose Game. Like, I played Untitled Goose Game for an hour, cost me 12 quid.
And probably never play it again, or never need to play it again.
No, I'll never play it again. But in the time I played it, I had a fucking blast.
Yeah, racing down a mountain in a bathtub with a traffic code on your head. You know, you can't not enjoy that.
It is. It's bananas. It's a silly little racing game. It's just everybody sliding down an ice-covered slope as quick as you possibly can. You choose what you're sliding on and what you wear on your head, and it's that simple. So I went down on a jet-powered rubber ring with a toilet plunger on my head and was overtaken by a dude on a rocket-powered toilet with a poo on his head. It was great. This is all I need out of my games.
Mm-hmm.
And the kid will fucking love it.
Yeah, definitely.
So, continue with that sort of vein. What was your surprise game?
Final Fantasy.
Either positive or negative.
I don't think I came away with any negatives.
No. I played a couple of indie games that I thought were pants, but that's mostly because they weren't in the style of game that I enjoy.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any negatives as games that I went in thinking, oh yeah, I want this, and then come away thinking, oh, I don't want it now. Everything I've seen and have played, I wanted. Darksiders Genesis caught me off guard at first.
Yeah.
And I was worried when we were playing multiplayer, and I was worried that this is going to be poo. But then as soon as we went single and you had more screen to yourself,
Yeah, when you have more
it was
real
absolutely
estate,
fine.
It was much better with more real estate to use.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you're playing online, it would be no issue. It would be absolutely fine. But it was quite small screens as well. They're only like not 16, 17-inch monitor.
Yeah, so that's kind of the biggest issue I think with a lot of stuff at EGX. Even the bigger screens, they're not as big as what you have at home usually.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you guys. I play on quite a big TV, so
50 inch, I think mine is.
Yeah.
I think mine's only a 43, but I also sit a lot closer to it than you guys do.
Yeah, there was nothing even as big as 43 there. Not from what I saw anyway this weekend.
No. I think 21 was about the average.
Yeah.
I think 32 was probably the maximum size that I saw.
So even Doom, which is great and it looked lovely, they're on quite small monitors. So actually, I'm even more looking forward to getting it on my TV and playing it in 4K.
It looks super cool.
So the screen size thing doesn't worry me too much, but yeah, you're right. On those small screens, Darksiders Genesis, when we were playing in co-op, that was quite small.
Yep. So, what about you, John?
So my surprise was probably Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I wasn't expecting to even remotely enjoy playing it because I've never enjoyed playing any of the Dragon Ball games in the past, but it kind of spoke to me on a weird, going back to my childhood, having Gohan beat Perfect Cell. Kind of spoke to me a little bit to the point where I'm actually going to rent it when it comes around, which is at some point in the distant future.
Your inner weeb spoken to.
Yeah, my inner weeb was spoken to and touched inappropriately.
Well, obviously, as a weeb.
Yeah. It's probably by a young man in a fursuit.
Yeah. Or a very, very young schoolgirl with very inappropriate clothing.
Yeah.
And very exceptionally large breasts.
Oh, obviously. Okay, so I've got a huge list of games.
Burn through your resed section.
Bring it on, because this list is going to be amazing. I'm pretty sure you and me are in agreement for most of this.
Yeah, I'll keep it reasonably sweet. So the general populace of these are Metroidvania or 2D platformers. There's a couple of others that are different or slightly different from those, but we'll go through them. So the first one was Time Spinner. That's currently on Switch at 15 quid. You play as a young girl. She has the ability to stop time briefly to help solve puzzles and such. It's actually multiplayer as well, so Brooker and I both played that. I played that as the main character. Brooker played as the little dragon. That was quite good. Yeah, it was quite fun. So that went straight on the list. Then we got Blasphemous, which was like a gothic Metroid. I hate to say it, but Dark Souls, because it was fucking horribly difficult.
It was brutal, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's 20 quid at the minute, so that's already out. That's definitely going to get a pick up at some point. We played one called Skybolt Zack, sorry.
That was probably one of my favourites. Again, just a complete surprise. I grabbed the controller because we were wandering that area and it looked kind of fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was kind of really fast paced and.
Well, it was the same for me. I looked at it and thought, it's a 2D action brawler, Metroidvania, something along those lines. I thought that's right up my street. It looked great on the Switch. And then we played it and it was slightly different. So it was sort of combo button based. All of the enemies have one of the individual controller buttons highlighted over them, and you have to press them in sequence to sort of smash your way through all the enemies, basically, weren't it?
Yeah.
And that was quite good. It was nice and colourful. Played fast, looked great.
Hoping for a console release for that isn't Switch, because the button colours on the screen worked really well, and obviously Switch doesn't have any button colours.
Yeah. I changed mine anyway, so it made no difference. They did say Switch. It's not out yet. It is advertised on the Nintendo site, but when you click on it, it takes you to a failed link, so it's not there yet. But it is coming for Switch. I presume it would come for console. I haven't got any paperwork on it. I did look. I ought to Google it, really. A game called Lunar Nights. Not really much to talk about on that. It was just another little 2D sort of a horror-esque. Oh no, wait, that's a different one. Lunar Nights was is actually quite a popular one already, I'm told. You basically, I think she had some ability to just stop time. Yeah, she could stop time as well. So that was 2 stop time games within the first 4. But that's definitely more Japanese style, manga style artwork, although it still felt 16-bit. That was good. A game called Eastwood. This was the one, kind of the odd one out. It was a top-down puzzle game. If you remember, it's the one where I couldn't get across the fucking river for about an hour. Or what felt like an hour. And it turns out
that one of the devs had to do it.
It turns out you can actually charge. You could charge the button for the frying pan, and I didn't realise you could charge. So, I mean, I suppose you would pick up all that sort of stuff in the training sections of games anyway, wouldn't you? Inmost was like a creepy-looking 2D platformer. I don't know. I didn't play it personally, but I seen some guy playing it, and he was sort of crouching under windows because there was something outside, and it looked really interesting.
That was my horror one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was the horror one, yeah.
So I've got that. That is now installed on my Apple TV.
That's right, yeah. It's not out on the consoles yet. It's PC and Apple, I think.
Yeah, so PC and exclusive to Apple Arcade as mobile. So, I
won't be getting that then.
No. So I spent a bit of time Sunday pairing my spare PlayStation controller to my Apple TV to see if it would work, and it did. So I then booted up my free trial of Apple Arcade and downloaded Inmost. I thought it was
Inmost.
I haven't played it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. That'll be spare couple of hours. I've got a month to play it before I start being charged for it, so I'm in no rush. But that hit my list quite, because just the look and feel of it as a horror platformer thing looked really cool.
Yeah, it did. There's a couple I can't remember much on, but I've got them on the list anyway. I don't remember them off the top of my head.
Nice.
There was a few games that I didn't actually get a chance to go on, but I seen them and picked up a picture or something of them. So these were 2 that I didn't actually play. One called Iron Meat, and one called Lume and the Shifting Void. So I didn't play either of those.
So Iron Meat was the Metroidvania thing that looked a bit like it was very sci-fi shooter, wasn't it? Yeah,
it was. Yeah.
I didn't play it, but it did look good. It's on my list as well.
Yeah.
We've talked about Valfaris, haven't we?
Yeah. So Valfaris, that's actually on sale at the minute on Switch. It's £20 and 24 pence. It's on sale till the 9th of November.
Nice.
So I will absolutely be picking that up before the 9th of November.
Well, it gets a physical release on Switch and on PS4. So I will probably pick it up physical on PS4 because I really liked it.
It was fun. The soundtrack was like some sort of crazy death metal slashed with a bit of synth music and kind of a bit Daft Punky kind of sound. Really enjoyed that. Thought that was great. I imagine it's going to be hard as fuck, but
it's going to be really brutal.
We'll see. Yeah.
Dude, we played Streets of Rage 4.
Yeah, it's on my list, mate.
Oh, okay.
It's on the Switch. It's on the Switch list.
Nice.
So yes, Streets of Rage 4. We played that on the Thursday, didn't we? That felt. I mean, other than the fact that the artwork was brand spanking new, it felt
like Streets
of Rage. Exactly like Streets of Rage. So that's a no-brainer for me. That's going to be a good bit of fun for me and whoever I'm playing it with. Eagle Island. It was an odd one, but I put it on the list anyway. It's a little guy with a little owl on his shoulder. Not sure why it's called Eagle Island. I presumed it would have been called Owl Island, but maybe there's an eagle later on in the game that I don't know about. And you use the eagle as his weapon. It was quite fun. Then Ukulele and the Impossible something or other lair.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I enjoyed that. That's a really polished one, though. I wouldn't really class that as an indie.
No.
That was super polished. I mean, I've still got my hang-ups about the first game fucking me over on one achievement, which is about 3/4 of the way through the game, and and I'm not playing the fucker all the way through just to get it. But yeah, that looked good, and I think it'll play great on the Switch, and it's reasonably. I think it's hanging around sort of 2025 mark as well.
Nice.
Yeah. So there you go. That's the big Switch list.
Most of those would also be on my list as well if I owned a Switch, which is why I'm really sad I didn't.
Yeah.
Why I'm really sad I did get rid of my Switch, and also really happy that I didn't have my credit card with me this weekend.
Yeah. I mean,
you just walked into the Argos section and been like,
I
"Yeah, can I have a Switch, please?"
For sure.
this just makes me think that I think I would probably prefer Rezzed over the standard EGX.
Yeah, if only
Rezzed-
Res was closer to where you live and not a £30 train ride for an hour-long day.
The problem with Rezzed is it basically looks like the Rezzed section at EGX, which is great, but it's very, very small. Like, there's no room to get on games.
Oh, okay.
And it's not like when you go to EGX, no one, it's easy to get onto a game in the Res section because everybody's off trying to get on Final Fantasy and Doom and FIFA. And all that.
Right. Yeah.
But there's none of that there. So
Yeah.
everybody's trying to get on his. And mate, some of the rooms we've been in, they were so packed. Like, you couldn't breathe. It was so tight in there.
And it's at Tobacco Dock, so all of the roofs are made of glass. And if the sun's out, then
If it's a hot day, it's pretty brutal.
that poor fucking woman at the hospital game in there, she was not dressed up for hot weather because it's fucking February.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be hot, but the sun was out. She was under a glass roof, dressed for fucking winter. It wasn't pleasant.
Noted. Maybe I'll just stick to EGX and just go to Res then.
Yeah.
Pretty much every game at EGX Res is at regular EGX, apart from like there's usually an ID Xbox section at Res, where they just show off all of the ID Xbox stuff. But even then, well, let's be fair, all of Res is absolutely rammed. There's queues to get on the indie games, and people usually don't get off when they're after like a little while. They usually end up standing around for like 30 minutes for someone to get bored of the game that they're playing. But these are all people who are just desperate to play indie games all the time.
Yeah.
So you end up waiting around for a long time to play a game just for a little while. Don't get me wrong, there are sometimes games there that end up on the list and on the radar. Brooker bought that one that was like a black and white inverted game.
That was awesome. They looked like a fucking 2D puzzle Deus Ex. It was superb. I've forgotten what it's called.
Yeah. But you bought it?
Yeah, I did. I bought it the day I got back from Res. I pre-ordered it on PlayStation. I played the shit out of it when it came out as well.
Yeah. So it is fun, but you live a lot further away than we do, so that's an expensive day.
Yeah.
And for lunch, all you get is 9 inches of disappointment.
Standard. My favourite kind of disappointment.
Yep.
So all in all, good week.
Yeah, man.
And
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was great fun.
And I can't wait to do it again in 2 years' time.
Yeah. Plus, obviously, alcohol in the evenings is already a winner.
Yes.
Yeah. Beer plus pizza plus Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah. Win-win. Also, I've got multiple photos of me with relatively attractive cosplay females, mostly.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Especially the ones you had no idea who they were, but you still got them anyway.
Boobies.
Yep.
Or just the fact that I think I'm just that way inclined. I just prefer females. So I generally went with the female costumes.
I was going to say, there were a lot of Borderlands costumers.
There was, yeah. I got a few.
There were a lot of handsome jacks.
There was a Borderlands cosplay competition. It was on Saturday just after we left.
Okay.
Because I've seen the results on the EGX Twitter feed.
Did Mose win?
I don't know who won. I couldn't see her in the pictures. So I don't think she did. I think she might have sloped off, but she's definitely the wicked outfit. Super cool.
Shift Quantum.
Awesome.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a black and white inverted puzzle game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know that one.
It's fucking
I've not
great.
played it.
You'll really like it, I reckon.
Okay.
I enjoyed it when I played it. And it was at Res this year as well, I think.
Okay. I'll take your word for it. I didn't spot it though.
Yeah.
What console's it on?
PlayStation.
PS4?
I'm surprised it's not on Switch. I think it'd be perfect for Switch.
Yeah, it would. Anyways.
Yeah.
I had to figure out the name. It was bugging me.
I guessed. What else can we talk about EGX wise?
Literally nothing. We've talked about everything.
And
I drank that beer tonight.
Was it any good?
Oh,
it was actually all right. It wasn't £5 worth of all right, but it was all right.
This was the
loading pale,
loading bar pale ale.
Yeah, the gaming session pale ale, 4.3%. It was all right. It was a good pale ale. It's tasty, but it wasn't worth a fucking £5 note, mate.
Oh, I thought you were meant to say that you drank that litre tin of Doom.
Mate, I'm not even attempted that bastard yet. I think I might have saved that till New Year's Eve.
Your very own Party 7. I like it.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's a big fucking barrel of beer.
It is, mate. A litre of 5% beer. And once you open it, you got to drink it. You can't leave it. So I need to be ready for it.
Cool. So that was our EGX experience. Positive? Did you come away happier than when you went as a whole?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're pretty much of the same understanding. We probably won't go again next year. Doesn't seem. Even though we might end up with the new kit there.
Well, next year will be worth going to if you want to go and see the new consoles. But I won't be going next year. I'm too busy already next year, and I don't need to see the new consoles to know I'm going to buy them.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, is that even if the new consoles are there, they won't be playable. They'll be like they were the last time the new consoles coming out to EGX. They were just in glass cases and shown off.
Yeah. It depends. The ones you're talking about, like the One X, which was it wasn't a new generation of console.
No, I mean when I was at Earl's Court for when PlayStation 4 and Xbox One were first coming around.
Okay.
That's how long ago it was that EGX was still at Earl's Court there.
I know when it was, but I mean, I saw the Wii U at EGX, and like the year before it was due out, and I played on shitloads of games for it. I think it'll be worth going, but I won't be because I'm too busy in 2020 already.
I'm probably going to skip it myself.
I think biannually is probably the better option anyway.
Yeah.
Because you miss out a couple of the things that are still hanging around from the year before.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to hope that next year everybody will be worried about the new consoles, and then the year after maybe we get a new Battlefield and I don't know, another Doom and stuff like that. That's what I'd rather play. I'd rather see that than the new consoles.
Yeah.
Next year we'll have Destiny 3.
Yeah.
And the next part of Final Fantasy VII Remake.
No, that'll be the year after.
No, but like fucking 5 years, mate.
So we're all EGX'd out. We're all talked out.
Yeah.
Lee, got any plugs for us?
What, on the call? No, I'm just Pyro Loveridge. Find me on Xbox. We'll talk from there.
Nice. Brooks?
Same as always, mate. I am Brooker411 on Twitter, and that's about it.
And I'm the John_CU on Twitter and on Xbox Live as Long Dong Silver. If you don't like talking to us as individuals, I mean I don't, then Character Unlock is the way to go on Twitter, Facebook. and other social media platforms are available. So I've been John, talking through this, and these guys have been with me the whole way through. So say goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Yeah, fuck you, Lee. I knew what you wanted to do.
I wanted it. I wanted it so bad.
Goodbye, everyone.
You let down.
Hello and welcome to Character Unlock Podcasts Extraordinaire from...
Seriously, did you wait till I was coughing before you started talking? You are such a bellend.
I didn't wait for you to start coughing. You just happened to cough at the right fucking time. Should I start over? Or the wrong time?
There you go, it's all yours.